Good morning, students. Today, under the same series of log on to Animate CC, the topic which we're going to cover is gradient. In this topic, we're going to learn that how to create a new gradient, how to modify both type of gradient, that is linear and radial, and how to edit objects. So let's proceed. Okay, here instead of Adobe Animate CC, I'm using Flash Professional CS6 as almost all the tools are similar as in Animate CC. So here let's learn like how to create a new gradient. So here I have created one image of over here, and suppose we want to color it with the blue gradient we want to create. So click on the color panel, click the type of, like, we want to select the linear gradient over here. Then we can select the color scheme, like I have to select blue from here. I've taken this blue and select it, just fill bucket, and you can see the change, like how linear gradient we have created. So in the same way we can create radial gradient too. Now if we want to modify a linear gradient, so what we have to do, first of all we have to click on this free from transform tool, and from there we have to select gradient transform tool. Then we have to tap on our click on our figure, and from here first one, this one is the rotation handle, from where we can easily rotate our gradient effect. After that we find here width adjustment handle, with the help of which we can able to adjust the height of our gradient, how much portion we want. And the next one is the center, like this is the center point of the gradient, from where we want to start our gradient effect. Okay, after that we'll check at how to modify a radial gradient. So here if I want to fill this image with the radial gradient, so I have to select the radial. From here I can select, instead of linear I can select the radial gradient. Here suppose if I want to change the color scheme, I can change the color even, and in fact from this bottom side I can select the radial, and just have to select the fill bucket tool and I can select it. So this is what the radial gradient is. Now if we want to modify this radial gradient, so again we have to click on free from transform tool, and from there I have to select gradient transform. When I click on this figure, now here I can find the 4 points. First one is the center of the gradient, that is if we you can drag the center point to the change the starting point of the color mixing of the gradient, so you can easily move it. That is the starting point of the gradient, you can put it anywhere. Second is the width adjustment handle. This is the width adjustment handle. You can drag the width adjustment handle to increase and decrease the gradient width. So here how you can increase and decrease the gradient width. Next one is the radius adjustment handle. This is radius adjustment handle. You can drag the radius adjustment handle to alter the gradient size proportionally. Just have to move and just see the difference. Fine. Next one is this. This is rotational handle. You can drag the rotation handle clockwise or anti-clockwise to rotate the gradient as required. Okay, now editing the object. First of all, selecting object. How we can able to select the object? Click on the selection tool and double click on the object. Now the object will be selected. Now transform the shape. How we can able to transform? That means to change the shapes. So if we want to shrink it, just click on the free transform tool and the object will be selected and you can able to shrink it as well. Fine, we can able to shrink it as well as can enlarge it. Now next one is scaling an object. That is to scale an object in both vertical or the horizontal direction, what we have to do, just click on the sides and see the change. We can able to scale it in this way. Next one is rotation and of an object. If we want to rotate this object, so we have to click on the corners. There you find this rotational handle. From there you can easily rotate your object. Next is skewing an object. Skewing an object means slanting the object by specifying angles along with one or both the axes. So just to skew it, just find out the difference in the object, select it and see the difference in the pointer, and from here you can able to skew your object. Next, if we want to flip our object, so what we have to do, just have to click on modify and select the transform tool. From there we have to select either vertical or horizontal flip according to our wish and you can see the change. Simply, if we want to copy this object, click on edit, copy, and wheresoever the free area you find it out, right click and paste. So how we can copy the object and can paste it.